Folks, it's time for your favorite series here on WCBS, but this episode has a bit of a twist. I've been running a little social experiment across all my Ollies to see exactly how much demand there is for one specific product to prove a point, and well, you're just going to have to watch to find out the end result. But until then, folks, hit that thumbs up button, get ready for some world-class content, and be on the lookout. Stealing Solo 2 is launching this week. So we start our journey at Ollie's in the 7th circle of hell, because this Ollie has seen some shit. Just look at all the burns. Ugh, it'll swallow your soul if you look too long, so let's just go on in. So here we are at Ollie's, and this store is, well, quite jam-packed with a lot of unsellable crap, a lot of new stuff as well, but let's go through the mountain of stuff, like this funky animal. I wasn't gonna buy it anyway. Let's move on, shall we? Now this Ollie's is in Dayton, Ohio, so this is quite far away from my normal stomping grounds, but you know they got the same problems like they do at every other Ollie's. They have the OSHA, whatever her last name is, figure, but luckily at this Ollie's, somebody picked up the toy. Somebody actually cared enough to buy one. Oh wait, no they didn't. Here it is right here on the shelf. They picked it up, they looked at it, and they thought, no thanks, I don't want it. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be the bigger person here. I'm going to put it away where it belongs. I'm going to take this box and put it in the dumpster. So it's a little early for Christmas if you ask me, but retail is always ready for Christmas because that's when they make the most money. But it sucks if you're Ollie's and you're stuck with all this old crap that nobody wants. Now the Ecto one down there is pretty cool. I didn't pick it up because I don't collect at that scale. But if you're a G.I. Joe fan and your head is the size of a child, you can wear this G.I. Joe mask. I could barely hold it in my hand. There are so many places to go in this Ollie's, I don't know what to do. So I'm just going to walk around the toy section in this direction. But don't worry, folks, we're not here to review Barbie's beach car or that little robot or whatever the hell else is going on over here. Let's just walk away, shall we? Oh, hi, doggy. Man, they are really just not caring how the store looks. That's okay. This is the price you pay for good stuff cheap. Junk on the floor, like that Ninja Turtle. I didn't put it there. I'm sorry I didn't pick it up. But I did pick up one of these Indiana Jones boxes, lunch boxes if you will, a while ago. And it's a pretty cool collectible, but I've done literally nothing with it. It is the most wonderful time of year. I can walk into Ollie's and I can see stuff that I can count on for the next 3 to 5 years. It's like a prison sentence at Ollie's. Once you're here for a long time. That's another thing I love about Ollie's toys. You'll find stuff that fell out of the box, but people didn't steal. Ollie's has an honest customer base. You think somebody could have just walked out with this Black Panther? They could have, but they also wouldn't want to. Or buy Reva. Ah, Ghostbusters. Who's Callie? It's the grown woman from Frozen Empire. Did anybody collect that line? That really wasn't for me, but I did get that HasLab a while back, so at least I'll have an Ecto one in some form or fashion. Now we're looking up here for our friend the Shuricopter, but it looks like this store doesn't have any, so what a bust. I drove how long to not see a single Shuricopter? I am very disappointed in myself and Ollie's, the world, everything. There's just disappointment everywhere. This Atuma helmet won't make it better. But this random ice truck trailer will. They'll make models of anything. There we go. There's a Shuricopter. Finally. Found it. Good. This trip was worth it. Ooh, Leonardo. Folks in the chat, tell me your favorite turtle down below. Mine's Leonardo because he's blue. Or he wears blue, he's not actually blue. Space Jam 2 was a mistake, and that's all I got to say about that. A lot of mistakes here at Ollie's, like Shang-Chi toys, and Wenwu toys, and Tessa Thompson toys, and Eternal toys, and Black Panther toys, and oh, The Rock. That's not the first time I've seen The Rock in an Ollie's, and it won't be the last. Ah, Jey Uso with a tag team title. You shouldn't have a belt that ranks any higher in the WWE. Welcome to Dino Land. It's, the Kmart equivalent of Jurassic Park. That's okay, we don't judge here. It's like great value Jurassic Park. There are dinosaurs, there's expensive stuff, but it's just not good. Like that OSHA figure that's randomly there by itself. Oh wait, never mind, there's a whole case of them right here. And did you read the pack? Wow, even more down here. Couldn't even get to my joke. Did you read the package though? FOMO, it's written on there, that's the code name, FOMO. Who the hell would have FOMO for this piece of crap? I know I didn't. I know most of you don't, and that's how I feel about the toy. Oh, drop the Joe. But let's see what we got here. We have, for a second I thought it was the first G.I. Joe in blackface. I was going to buy the toy if it was G.I. Joe's blackface edition, but alas, it's just some tactical gear and some paint to hide yourself out. This isn't G.I. Joe in blackface, it's just a black lady G.I. Joe. There's a difference, folks. I learned it the hard way, and I'd like to thank everybody out there who worked with me, who coached me, who really helped me understand who I was as a person and how to address my problems. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I loved back in the day, though, when they would do the Halloween TMNT. I had the Star Trek one. It was weird. I had no other Star Trek products, but I had that. I have more Shurikopters than that. No, I don't. I'm down to one. Sorry, folks. I gave them all away. If you want more Shurikopters, well, go to your local Ollie's, or don't, because it's a Shurikopter. Now, you think they're being sneaky at Ollie's by hiding another OSHA holocron figure from me, but they didn't. I found it. Any My Little Pony fans? Didn't think so, not on this channel. I still think of it as a toy line, not a way of life. So let's go back here in this unkempt mountain of garbage that will hopefully move by Christmas. And what do we have here? Dolls, stuff we don't really talk about. Let's move on to another store, shall we? So now this Ollie's was even more packed to the gills and far more organized and far more, well, exciting to say the least. Because we have Nerf, we have, the Eternals, ugh. But we have this WrestleMania 40 pack with The Rock and Roman Reigns. The Rock is 2 for 2 at Ollie's right now. I wonder if that trend's gonna keep. Now, I saw this match live. It was a good time. It was a lot of fun. It was the last WrestleMania I have attended and probably ever will, because I refuse to pay the modern ticket prices, and my ass is not going to Saudi Arabia. Period. So as we stroll through the mountain of Black Panther toys from 2022 at this point, and the Young Jedi Adventure toys from 20-something, I proved my point many times, hundreds of times it feels like. Nobody wanted this crap. Nobody wanted it on TV. Nobody wanted it at retail. And nobody wants it at Ollie's, second-class retail for second-class merchandise. Speaking of second-class merchandise, look what I found. Multiple, full, untouched cases of OSHA, sorry, they're all the same to me. OSHA from, The Acolyte. And before anybody in the comment section gets real upset, oh, you don't like Ahsoka? I do, but I didn't like her show. I keep getting told by reputable sources that Transformers 1 was a pretty solid movie and that I should watch it. Anyone have any love for Transformers 1? Tell me what I'm missing down in the comments below. Is it more than meets the eye? Because the marketing was pretty garbage. Slowly but surely, the Ecto-1s are moving at this Ollie's. Maybe by Christmas they'll have sold out. Or maybe not. Maybe Hasbro will finally learn to stop making these tertiary scales, the 5-inch scale between the Legend size and the O-ring size. I get that they think it's for kids, but why can't kids just play with a bigger figure or a smaller figure? It's stupid. Hope you like Monopoly, dog, because we got a lot of Monopoly for you. Now, here we are at this section of the toy aisle. We usually walk down the other side. I wanted to do something different for you this time, guys. So I just walked down the other side of the aisle. That's quite different, right? That's why we're world class. But as you can see, it's the same usual offenders, and I'm surprised at this point. I thought Ollie's would have just been like, you know what? We need to clear this out for new merchandise. But I guess their plan is we're just not going to buy any more and hope that people buy it and eventually we'll get new stuff. I don't know if that's the plan. Were these adult diapers? Yes, they were adult diapers. Extra large adult diapers. Not really here to make fun of people, just kind of a weird thing to see next to the toys at Ollie's. That takes the cake for the weirdest shit I've ever seen here. I guess it's Black Panther. It's kind of disappointing, just like the movies. Well, the second one. People in this neck of the woods do not like X-Men 97. They do not care about the Blackbird jet with Storm. Maybe it's the haircut. Nah, I doubt it. It's just a weird scale again. See, when I was a kid, I used to love when you would have Batman and Spider-Man team up and fight this guy and that guy, and they were all roughly the same size. Now everything's all over the spectrum in terms of scale, and maybe kids don't care about that today. Kids don't play with toys according to some documents I've seen, but the grown-ups who buy them do care about the scale. Now, for the last 2 years and change, this was a Marvel wall, and it has finally been turned over to 5 Surprise, little toys, and other crap. So they threw those Marvel Legends away in this store. Those did not sell. They pitched them. They sold them for weight. Good God, that was a waste of time. I mean, retail space is valuable, but I guess Marvel Legends are more valuable? No, they're not. So now we're getting into some weirder toys, some kitty toys, so let's get out of this store. Now this Ollie's was like taking a trip back in time, even more so than a regular Ollie's, and that's saying something. We have Avengers, what's the second Avengers? Age of Ultron merchandise right there, that's where the Vision comes from. We got our good pal Elena Shaw, or Helena Shaw, excuse me. I don't like you enough to get your name right, lady. I don't care, you're not real. And there we are. Lots of old crap. Lots of new crap, but at the end of the day, it's all crap. Like the Flash. Kind of bothers me to see the Emperor here. He deserves better, just like Luke and Han Solo and some of these other characters like Princess Leia and Lando. But Hasbro just overdoes it every time to the point where it's almost laughable. Soon, folks, these toys will be sold for scrap, and this retail shelf will be filled with something else, literally anything else that people care about. There we go. We got a whole row of Shurikopters, 2 rows of Shurikopters, and an extra one on top. Talk about a cherry on a sundae. Just not the type of sundae you want to eat. Here's something for all the collectors out there that like to troop build. There's the Fist Ninja. They got one here, and it's a whopping $9.99. I love toy collectors. I love talking about stuff, but when people are like, I bought 35 of the same thing at full retail price. Dude, just wait. Just wait. It's been years like this at Ollie's. It's not changing anytime soon. I'm kind of glad I didn't buy that Bowser at full price. I think it might be time to pick him up right now. Oh, Raccoon Mario, all the way from Super Mario Bros. 3. What a great game. And here's the same toy in a different style box. Same price, but if you want to, get your action figure with scuffs and germs instead of having your figure sealed up. What the hell is this? Zombie 3, A Spen. A Spen, okay. Moving on. Here we are, around the corner, and we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 10 boxes of this. This is like 50 OSHAs from the Acolyte. Now, folks, I will return to this store some point in the future, and they'll still be here. But look, they're everywhere. I know people in these stores are like, oh, it's just another box of toys. But I like to imagine that somewhere, some Ollie's employee is up on what these things are, and they go, really? Another Acolyte toy? They're becoming the bane of existence at the retail space. Let's see what we got back here. Family above all, says this happy smiling man. I don't want a happy smiling man action figure. My wrestlers should look like they're going to rip each other's heads off. Let's just take an overhead look at the disaster that is the Star Wars brand, Hasbro retail, Hasbro marketing. That's why they want to get into making video games, because it's so much easier. They can have a digital product and they don't have to put it on discount anytime soon. Ah, fake Spider-Man. Nobody's favorite. What do we got down here? What do we got down here? Nothing. Let's move on. I said let's move on. I said let's move on. Jesus, are you not listening to me? No, I guess you're not. We're going to keep moving on to the next side of the store. Well, it's worth it when you see all those Monopolies. Holy crap, look at all that Monopoly. Not just one type. There's Knockout Monopoly, Ninja Turtles Monopoly, Golden Girls Monopoly, Bob Ross Monopoly, you name it. There's just so much of this here. Again, all Hasbro products. Great. Grand. Good. Man, this store really has a lot of stuff in it, doesn't it? Yeah, a lot of disappointing stuff. Like, what if? What if you paid full price for Captain Carter's shield? You probably don't care, you probably don't watch these videos, but deep down, you know that you were honey-dicked. I just saw those Acolyte figures from the back, and they look just as embarrassing from the front. So folks, it's time for the social experiment. So this is one specific Ollie's I went into over a month ago, almost 2 months at this point, when these figures showed up. And you can see here that they are stacked full. They have nothing but full cases of OSHA. And you're probably wondering what the Holocon collection is. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But there she is. You can stand your action figure on that little light up base, and that's exactly what you want. A holographic version of a character you hate. Now, originally she was 20-something bucks at retail. Now she's $9.99. Now, my whole point is anyone gonna buy this? So I went and I showed you this. This is actually in a previous Ollie's Toy video. But I went back a week later, and lo and behold, not a single one had moved. Here we are again. There they go. Let's look up and down. That's 3 stacks, 3 rows each, 10 cases, 5 figures. Bullshit. Here we are the following week after that. I went back and found the same figures untouched. What a shocker. So I went back last week, and lo and behold, they're gone. Yes, finally, somebody bought all the OSHAs, and well, I'm just here looking like an idiot thinking my social experiment was going to be a big deal. Well, I walked around to the other aisle after I saw that Ironheart action figure, and I found this awesome Ninja Turtles display, full of figures that will sell by this Christmas. But if we go over here, we find all the Star Wars toys, and at the bottom of that shelf, there they are, all of those figures we talked about earlier, untouched, unsold, and unloved, just like the Acolyte. So folks, what did you think of my little social experiment? Were you surprised? I might not be a prognosticator, but what you can call me is world class. And that's what we brought you today, another world-class trip through Ollie's. So folks, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll be back next time with more. Stealing Solo 2 is here in just a few days, so don't miss out. And well, if you haven't had the first one, here's your chance right now. But until then, thank you for watching. Stealing Solo asks the greatest what-if question of all time. What if a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement? That, and a whole lot more, is answered in Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody. Stealing Solo has been called Laugh Out Loud Funny and the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs, and it's available now for a limited time only. Go to stealingsolo.com, which is powered by Shopify, so you get the reward-winning safety and security, and get yourselves a copy today. Once we sell through this limited backstock, I'm going back to the drawing board to bring you the sequel, which parodies Luke Skywalker's fall from grace, and finally the closing chapter, which I can't wait to get to, Frankenfisher, the Bride of Solo. And yes, it's exactly what you think it is. So folks, the only way to get that is go to stealingsolo.com right now, get yourselves a copy, and enjoy the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs.